Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all new, absolutely fantastic, characterful, wonderful, delicious, gorgeous miniatures that are the Krieg Combat Engineers. Yes, Games Workshop have sent me these early as part of the Death Corps of Krieg army set, and I am very excited to paint these because, well, we've figured out the scheme now on the infantry, so now it's just a matter of making it more complicated for the Krieg Combat Engineers because there's a little bit more going on here. So I'm really excited to jump in, so massive thank you to them for doing that. And well, the colour we're going to be using first is Snakebite Leather once again, and they have all been primed in grey Seer. Now we're going to paint up the engineers and the mine at the same time. Now when the mine comes up I will point out what it is that we're doing, but as mentioned, the first colour we're going to be using is Snakebite Leather, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the great coats. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the armour. So this is going to include the chest rig and the shin pads as well. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to apply this over top of any packs and large pouches, but what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over top of the additional strapping that the infantry don't have on their chest rigs. And not only are we going to do this once, we're going to do 2 coats of this. So with that all done, because of the shin pads being Cygor Brown, instead of using Cygor Brown on the trousers, what we're going to do is we're going to use Wyldwood. But that's convenient because we also need to use Wyldwood over the top of things like wood and det cord and stuff like that, because these guys have got a lot of extra gubbins. So with all that Wyldwood applied, we're then going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over the boots, the gloves, and any remaining leather straps. And so with all that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over top of the face masks, including the skull. Don't worry about that for now. And we're also going to apply this over top of the wraps on the boots. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Vulkan Green. And we're going to use this over the top of the casings of the weapons and over the top of any kind of military gear. So there's things like a grenade case on the back of one of our engineers and stuff like that. But, as we've already talked about it before, we're going to be using this Vulkan Green. I mean, there you go, for that sort of thing. There's a little bit more to do on the top, but we are going to use the Vulkan Green now on top of the kind of, I guess you'd call it armour, of the remote mine. So with that Vulkan Green all applied, we're then going to take some Blood Angels Red and we're going to apply this over top of this cabling back here on our remote mine. So with that Blood Angels Red all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over pretty much all of the remaining details across all of our minis. The only thing we're not going to be applying this over top of is the basket hilt of the sword on our Watchmaster or Sergeant, and we're not going to be applying this over top of the heat shield and the magazine or canister of our flamer. So with all that Iron Warriors applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass and we're going to apply this over the top of those last couple of details. So the basket hilt of the sword and the heat shield and magazine of the flamer. So with that all done, it's now time to add a shade. And well, the shade is going to be some Nuln Oil. And we're going to be using this over top of the metallics and the green. With all of that Nuln Oil applied, uniquely to our flamer, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over the top of the Nuln Oil on the heat shield and the mag. So with that all done, our combat engineers are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave them there, no. We're going to take them to the next level. We're going to do this by adding 2 relayers, some lens work, and 4 highlights. So, I'm going to get all of these out of the way, as per usual. And we're going to work on the relayers first, and the first of these is going to be some thinned down Steel Legion Drab. And we're going to be using this to relayer their coats. So we just want to pick a place to start. I'm going to start just here, and we want to apply the Steel Legion Drab over all of the kind of flat open areas, and we just want to avoid the deepest recesses. And what this is going to do is just take all of that warmth out of the Snakebite Leather, which you could leave in by not doing this if you prefer that look. With all that Steel Legion Drab applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to do our other relayer, which is going to be some thinned down Corax White. And we're going to apply this over the skull. On their rebreathers. Just like that. However, just for a bit of fun, what we're also going to do, just to make our little mine a little bit more interesting to look at, is I'm just going to add a little stripe going down the middle of the front, basically. Just going to pop a little dot of Corax White there, little dot there, little dot there, and join it up. Same thing on the other side, and then block it in. Just like that sort of thing. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Karak Stone, and we're going to use this to highlight the greatcoats and the trousers. So with that Karak Stone all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown. I'm going to use this to highlight the Cygor Brown armour. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Straken Green. I'm going to use this to highlight all the green. So with that Straken Green applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our metallics, excluding the heat shield and the magazine on our flamer. We are going to use this to highlight the basket hilt. On our sergeant. And so with that all done, we're now going to finish off the engineers by taking some Black Legion and applying it over top of the eye lenses. And with our bases complete, the Krieg Combat Engineers are now finished. So that wraps up our coverage of the Death Court of Krieg for now, because I'm sure more will come in the future in the form of the heavy weapons team and the command squad. We just have to wait and find out when they'll be. But I'm super into these at the moment. And well, we've got the Cadians coming up soon as well. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty cool, very effective. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.